Good morning, everybody. How we doing out there? Oh boy, only emojis. How about some vocals? Come
Doing
on.
good.
Oh my God.
I'm
It's five,
awake and I'm alive.
it's it's 5:30 where I am, and I'm up and going. Come on, people. It's 8:30 in your time zone. Let's go. Who's got some positivity, some vibes going today? This group needs it apparently. All right, Tracy.
All right, so got another accepted offer yesterday, so I'm pretty excited. Under asking, since there was no competing offers, she took the shot, and
All
my
right,
client's pretty happy about it.
let's get some more details. How long's it been on the market?
It's been on for about 2 weeks. Um, I'm already co-broking with this agent on one of my listings, and so asked for the details. And
I want to I
somebody was
want to
poking around, you know.
I want to start. I want to start there though. How many deals have you done with this agent in the past, Tracy?
I haven't done one in the past year with her, but I think in the past I've done like 2 deals with her.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then you just
she's a
happen,
long time. She's been in for a long time. So
and then you have another one going right now that was your listing.
yep. So she's on the buy side on one of my listings.
So this was like just really good for agents that haven't co-broached with the same agent multiple times to understand the power of being in this business for more than a minute, right? Like if you build yourself a reputation that you are somebody that gets the job done, other agents want to do business with you, right? So, including these two, Tracy, are you in the 4 or 5 range of deals with this agent?
Yeah. So yes,
Yeah.
I think I've done four with her in the over my. So this will be 5 and 6. But yeah, because we both we bump into each other every now and then. So yeah, it
And it
is good
just,
to get them done.
yeah. And when you get those deals done, and now, you got a property that's sitting, hasn't been sitting that long, a couple of weeks, right? That's not crazy. Um, Zillow released some data at the conference yesterday that the average days on market to go under contract in the country right now is 20 days. But the average listing that is sitting has been on for 55. Right. So a lot of talk yesterday about what are you doing? Have you sharpened your skills? Are you providing data around getting your sellers to move their prices quicker and not just responding to the market, but being confident in the conversations that you're having when you take those listings. And then if it's not moving, what are you doing to get it to move, to have conversations to make sure that it does? Because clearly there's a big gap here, right? Average days, you get it accepted at 20, but then if it doesn't sell in those first 20, the average property's been on for almost 2 months. And now you're starting to get the calls. Hey, what's going on? Hey, you said you could get this sold. Hey, hey, hey. And all of a sudden, taking listings that are sitting is becoming a nuisance and a burden on you, right? So it's good conversations up front, staging when necessary. They brought Nate Burkus. I wasn't really familiar with Nate, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are. He's been in that interior design space for I think 30 years now. He was the original kind of fix this space with Oprah, and I believe ran that for a couple of decades on Oprah's show. Um, but just talked about just the little things that the good agents are doing to make sure that their sellers are coming to market in the best possible light. So it's not just about the pricing. It's, hey, I drive the bus here. You're hiring me because I'm the professional. Here's some things that we need to do around this house to get it to sell. Right. And it shouldn't take that much work for you guys. You should be able to do a quick YouTube search, do a chat GPT search. Hey, what are some tips that I can bring to each seller when I go to my listing presentations and what they can do to maximize that experience when the buyer walks through. Right. And the couple of tips that Nate gave were just super basic. He's like, just make sure at a bare minimum, just make sure the place is clean. right? You're listing a house and it looks like they don't clean it on a regular basis. We should be having a conversation of like, hey, I do have a house cleaner, right? It's going to cost you a couple $100, but in my experience, it's going to be well worth it to just give this a once over before we come to market. Or, hey, I've got an interior designer, a stager that I partner with. It's going to cost you a couple of $1,000, but you're going to get it back in spades. And this is what the professional agent of the future is going to have to be able to do. They're going to have these resources at their disposal, right? You've got to have those extra partners that you can bring in on the spot, right? He even talked about, some of his clients that he works directly with. These are brokers that send him design business. Will literally call from a property. Hey, Nate, you got 2 minutes. I'm sending you a photo. I'm here with some clients. They absolutely love the house. They don't love this fireplace. What do you think it's going to cost to redo this fireplace section or to redo this kitchen? Or right? So a good design person not only could say, hey, look, I think we can do it for this price, but hey, also, I think these are some of the things that I would do with that space. Are we going to use this on every single buyer? No. But man, if you can make that phone call when you're at the showing, when you're at the listing appointment, because you are a real estate resource, instantaneous adding of value. Anybody have any questions on kind of the staging pieces or partnering with these pieces? And I'm hoping you can see the value that it brings when you can make that phone call on the spot. I always like prided myself in being the guy that calls Steve, he's got a guy. Whether you're doing a deal with me, whether you're just in my friend circle, whether you're a past client of me, I want you calling me because I've got a guy for that. And when I say, we want to be your real estate resource for life, I really mean that. And I think the agent of the future is really going to have to deliver on this. Who's got some thoughts? Who's got that partner? Who's made a call like this? How about just a show of hands? Do you have an interior designer that you can rely on? That you could pick up the phone and call? Good. Oh, that was just you have one.
Right.
Yeah. Right. If you don't have one, no problem. Ask around. Right. Take one out to lunch or coffee. Hey, I'm trying to up my game. I want to add you into my repertoire of services that I can provide. Right? This is the type of stuff that, hey, if I called you about this, would you have some pricing for me? Is this something that you'd be willing to do? Could do? What do your staging services cost? All right. Build your network. I think another kind of critical thing that I'm really hearing is with regards to value add touches post close. Right, Zillow put a stat up on the screen that I want to say it's 38% of business is still done by referral. Right, that number used to be 60-70% when I got into the business. Everything was based on a referral. Right, your past client referred you another client. It was almost, you had some stuff coming out of a newspaper ad, some people doing open houses, but most people were finding their agents through a referral from a friend or family member. But that number is down to 30. I think the number that they had was 38%. And the big change has obviously been finding their agent online. I want to say that that's making up like 32%. And then the other areas really haven't changed. Like print is like a percent or two, mailers is a percent or two, open houses, I think was 5 or 6%, and other might have been 4 or 5%, whatever adds up to 100% there. But the two main categories of where agents are getting their business is referrals from past clients in Sphere and online. Right. And so how do we continue to, if we're working leads and we close that business, how do we get into that 38% bucket where we're getting referrals. We got to have reasons to reach out post-close. You know, it's something that, you know, I plan on really focusing on over the next, you know, 12 to 24 months. What are we doing post-close? How do we up our post-close games? Who are the people that we're going to partner with, right? Are we partnering with tax professionals? Are we partnering with insurance professionals? Are we partnering with financial planners? What are we doing so that we have value add touches so that we can get that repeat and referral business? Because I think it's an area that we're not strong enough in. And I think it's going to be really, really important if we want to build complete businesses here, that we have this piece in interior design, stagers. This is 100% got to be part of that piece. Questions, comments? Like in my mind, I kind of envision like, hey, here's all the people that we need. Right. And so we have a list of services that we should have a guy for. And then you put in who your person is in the right-hand column. We just give you a blank sheet, right? Who is your stager? Who is your interior design? Who's your financial planner? Who's your life insurance person? Who's your roofer? Who's your plumber? Who's your electrician? Who's your flooring guy? Who's your siding guy? Who's your windows guy? Who's your lawn guy? Who's your hardscapes guy? Who are these people? And if you don't have it, you should be actively working to add those people to your repertoire. That when you're out, you know, talking with a client and they're saying, hey, man, we don't really love the landscaping. You know what? Let me get Larry on the phone. I'm going to shoot him a couple of photos. Let's see what it would cost to re-landscape this area. That's value add immediately on the spot for your clients. Anybody have like a share around this or something that you like to do? Is there a contractor or somebody that you kind of rely on heavily that you do this with?
Oh, where's the hand?
Linda, you're not on mute. There we go. Oh, there it is.
Oh, hi. Okay, so back in Illinois, I got a new client, lovely young man, and we ended up selling him and his wife a home. But in the meantime, he and his father had this wonderful HVAC company, and he was just such like a person of integrity. And Jeff and I just fell in love with him, and so we would start calling Spiro whenever we had any sort of situations come up, and he would have somebody out on the spot for our clients, like, you know, before the end of the day. And so he is our go-to guy. And we have a handful of stories of how he swooped in and saved the day for other clients. And we've just got him on speed dial, and they just adored him. And it also, it's such a value add. It gives our clients just this great confidence in that we are their go-to people, that we've got their backs, we've got them covered. And it's so all these, if you can have your cream of the cream people on speed dial and have that list as agents, it's gold. It's just gold. It's just so good for everyone. And Jeffrey would like to say something, so I'll be quiet now.
On the plus two, this guy Spiro, we had him under contract, and we had him, you know, again, really felt this guy was such a solid guy when he told us he was working on this. Before he closed on his place in 30 days, we had him in front of 3 other clients that we had already done business with. That's how good he was. And, you know, again, you see how he works with one, then we're like, this guy, we're locked in. He's going to be one of our partners for life. So it was great to be able to have that value add for everybody.
The other thing that happens, guys, is they're going to want to reciprocate, right? It's just natural human nature.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
And I don't know if Spiro ever sent you any business, but most of my people sent me business back, right?
Totally, totally, totally. And I mean, it's just a beautiful relationship. So this fall we were thinking, oh, maybe we'll ask Spiro if he would like us to do a postcard with him, if he's willing to give some sort of a discount for his, fall checkups, then we can promote him to our database and get the word out further, because we have so much confidence that he's going to do a fabulous job, and at the end of the day, anybody that you want to recommend, you want that peace of mind that they are going to treat your people with excellence. And so those are the people that you want on that list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, and Glorious, oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, no. Jeff, did you want to say something? No, Jeff's good. I'm good. I'll be quiet. Okay.
All right. I will say you do have to be careful with who you're recommending, right? You want to pick people who are best in class, right? And so they are responsive. Maybe, when you're talking about contractors, they have somebody at the office that answers the phone. You can get them out there on short notice. So, spend some time, have a coffee, learn about their business a little bit. I think you're going to know pretty quickly, is this a professional or is this a hack, right? There's plenty of hacks. And, that's the last thing that you want to do, is be referring people that do a terrible job, because that's your reputation on the line. So there is a balance and a fine line there. We used to keep an internal we may even still do it, probably outdated, but an internal list of service providers, right? But in order to get on that list, we had to have it verified that one of our agents had personally used that client, or one of their or that service, or one of their clients had personally used that service. This isn't just, hey, I met somebody and I start referring the business, right? If you have a good coffee conversation and you're like, hey, I'd love to start referring you some business, you have a couple of past clients that I might just be able to talk to before we start doing business together. Right? Anybody who's hopefully decent at their job should have a list of people, that they'd be willing to put you in touch with as a kind of a testimonial. Or if they're, high quality business, they should have testimonials online. So do the research and make sure that your group is solid. And my group's turned over, right? Like if that service slips, you can't keep referring the business. And in the contracting world, I felt like this happened to me the most, versus, maybe like my stager I was kind of using for the same period of time. Interior design, stayed the length of time. But like I went through 3 or 4 different electricians during my producing years, 3 or 4 different plumbers. I had a roofer that was with me the entire time. A couple of different contractors, a couple of different tree guys, right? And then you've got a different markets, right? A lot of us service multiple markets. So, I had a tree guy that was amazing, but he did not want to leave the hill towns. Like that's where his jam was. He worked west of the river. He would not come over to the east side, Springfield East. And okay, so I need 2 tree guys. Right. So understand your markets, understand their service territories, and you might need a couple of people. Galerius.
Oh, my apologies. I think that's an error.
All right, Galerius, we'll let it slide. Anybody else have questions on, having real estate resources?
I think it's important to remember not to abuse these guys, right? Don't use them just for estimates and just questions. Like you got to actually give them business to keep that relationship flowing both ways. The other thing too, I think it's especially for newer agents. I think that if you use this to contact your sphere, saying, hey, I know you've been in the house for a while. I don't know if you know I'm new in the business, blah, 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 but I'm looking to build out my real estate resources. And do you have anybody that you've used in the past that you recommend? I'd love to be able to, use them if I need them. And that's an extra conversation with your sphere, maybe that you wouldn't have had.
Yeah, that's gold right there. That is absolute gold. Right. And right, I will add to that, be specific. Be specific with your asks. If you just say, hey, do you have anybody that I might be able to start referring to my clientele? Much less likely to get a response than, hey, you know what? I need somebody that can refinish hardwood floors. You don't happen to know anybody that's really good at refinishing hardwood floors, right? I got a hole on my resource list. And I'm looking for a roofer. Did you guys, have you had any experience with a good roofing contractor? Right, so maybe ask for a couple. But if you're serious, you could ask in general, see what they say, and if you get a bagel, right, go after a particular category. But that is such a great way to build that symbiotic relationship. Hey, you guys were great. I loved working with you guys. And have you come across anybody that's like you, right? Professional, responsive. People are going to be honest with you. So great share, Jay. Anybody else have thoughts around this? How about just anybody got any specific like stories, go-tos, like a Spiro story? Like anybody have a contractor that's, good for a couple of deals a year? Alex.
So I was gonna say I have a few like that, and from time to time I'll meet with people that I think might be a good fit. Landscapers or like finished carpentry people, like for trim work, cabinetry, stuff like that, or just general contractors that would like do a remodel. I would meet with them, have a coffee, have a great conversation, and in some cases, like I would recommend them to my clients, and I would just push that off and just say, hey, I know this guy Nick. He does a phenomenal job with restorations. Why don't you just have a conversation with him, have him quote you, type of thing. And what I realized is a lot of the times they did not use the contractor that I signed them up with, but staying in touch with them and everything else, they might have jumped through 2 or 3 different contractors and we're super happy with one of them. That is the person that I would reach out to and say, hey, sounds like you landed on Xavier, or whoever this guy's name is. I would love a chance to chat with him. Come to find out, they were super happy with 2 more people. So unfortunately, I would have to put Nick off to the side, and now I'm doing more business with Xavier and sending him more business. So like you said, reaching out to your SOI or your clients have already done some form of remodel, restoration, any kind of work, and you are already having referrals for it. So that's a nice way that we built up a vendor list down here in Florida. Some people switch on and off. A few people I've added on my own, but at least now I know that we have a nice subsection in Zendesk of people that we can trust based on multiple interactions with them now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Hey, what the gold there is hey, I know I sent you Larry. You went with Xavier. Why'd you go with Xavier? Oh, well, Xavier had this satisfaction guarantee, money back guarantee, 30 day. Hey, cool. Good to know. Right. And maybe you call Larry and say, hey, Larry, just want to let you know, right? You're losing business because of this. Might be something you want to look at, man. I'd love to refer you. Tried to get you that business. Here's why you didn't get it, right? You think Larry's happy with you, right? Giving him some constructive feedback. Of course. Right? A true professional is always looking to get a little bit better.
Plus, there's always Facebook groups about people who are like, we have like a Sarasota word of mouth, Lakewood Ranch word of mouth. I'm sure you guys have a bunch of the similar stuff. I would go on there and say, hey, who had the best experience with this particular field? And then just see if you get like multiple referrals for the same person.
Yeah, love it. Caitlin.
Yeah, I was just going to say for building out my vendor resource list, buyer clients have been hugely helpful for anyone who I've closed. And, in my conversations with them, I've known that they're going to do some sort of renovation work. I kind of keep them in my follow-up list and, ask to see their home, ask to see the work that they've done. And Right now, actually, next week, I have 2 appointments to do walkthroughs of buyer clients' homes who closed over the summer and, have done a little bit of renovations themselves. And I'm definitely going to ask, who they used, if the quality of work is good, and ask about their experience. And, kind of that's a way for me to, build out that network and have go-to people for those different areas.
I love it. I love it. Right, killing two birds with one stone here, right? Get back in front of your clients, try and build out your vendor list at the same time, and this is how you can really make the business enjoyable, right? I mean, go selling them a house that needs a full kitchen remodel and nobody can really see the vision, but maybe you can see it, and then they execute on it, and like the smile on their faces when they show you, hey, remember this and look at it now, like there's nothing better. Right? That's the business that we're in. Like, it's wicked cool when that stuff starts to happen, and then there's business referrals coming out of it. And I would say, like, this vendor list doesn't have to be just like real estate related stuff. Like, have an auto mechanic that you can refer. Have a scratch and dent guy. Have whatever. A meal prep person. Like, be the resource. You want to be connected with these people, and then learn about their businesses. Do the coffee meeting, learn about their business. Would love to refer some business to you, right? That was always my favorite question. Hey, who's the perfect referral for you? Who is the perfect referral for you? And then if you really believe in that person and their services and their business, go try and get them some business, right? You're talking to a meal prep person. Hey, anybody that's really into health and fitness. If you're talking to somebody that's into health and fitness, I'd love if you can mention my name. And the next time you're just in a chat with somebody that's you can tell they're into their health and fitness and they go to the gym, and hey, have you ever thought about meal prep people? And try their services. That's the other thing. Try it out. You can speak to it even better, right? I mean, some of these contractors, you might not have a reason to utilize their services, but can you utilize them on a small scale? Is there a little project that they could do? Amber.
I have that with my electrician, although he's sort of semi-retired now, so I've got to find a new one. I got 5 personal deals, double-sided, 2 different deals, and a third out of, an additional one out of it, just from his referrals.
I love it. I love it. And look, a lot of times if you've got the contractor that's going out of the business like that, he might have somebody that he knows, likes, and trusts. If Larry, hey man, I know you're trying to scale back a little bit. Like, do you know anybody else that I might be able to start to partner with? And if not, now you're on the hunt. Now it's that question when you're calling the past clients in Sphere or around the holidays, whatever the case might be. Hey, you know what? My go-to electrician is retiring. Have you had any electrical work done? Were you happy with the services? Right? You should be constantly trying to build this list. And I promise you, if you have the best list, if you are the best resource, and your clients know, I got to call Jay. Right? Like, I had people call me for the weirdest stuff, just with a lead in. Hey, we know you've always got a guy. And like, nothing made me happier than trying to execute on that. And man, if they would call me and I didn't have the resource, I'd spend that day making my phone calls. Hey, one of my clients needs this. I've got to deliver on this referral. Who do you know? Right? And I'm going to my group of really well-connected people because I know they've got resources, so that I can get back to my person and deliver on my promise that I will get you somebody and you'll be happy with the services. We took up a lot of time with the vendor list today, and I apologize, I did not get to. Does anybody have something pressing on a deal that they need some guidance on? Okay. Another reminder, guys. I don't know, coming up on 30 days till this election. Please utilize this next 30 days. Be active in real estate. Make calls, send texts, get out there, and make sure you are trying to generate for your future. Right? It should be pretty frothy for a little bit here. And I get nervous about what's going to happen post that election. And I'd rather be safe than sorry. Hopefully it's just business as usual. But I just don't take your foot off the gas for the next 30 days. Jeff and Linda?
I would just like to say that I love and appreciate these conversations so much, and I have learned so much, and everybody's participation and great ideas have just made such a difference. I can't thank you all enough, and I think this is a brilliant forum, and I just wanted you all to know how much I appreciate it. Steve, how much I appreciate you doing this every day, and I just think it's gold for each and every one of us. And when we all come together and share our ideas, it's wonderful. It makes each and every one of us better. So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. I feel the same way. I mean, I am, extremely passionate about this business. I love where we're at in this business. The thing I've always struggled with the most in this business and building this business is the unprofessionalism that surrounds the real estate industry. In most states, it's extremely easy to get your license. And that when things get frothy, like COVID, you've got people coming in that really have no business getting in and servicing, people's biggest assets. And I just the AI is not replacing us. This is, for most people, I don't know what it's ranked. It's like, death, and I don't know, there's something else. It's like the people fear the most. It's like death, something, and buying a home. So we are going to be involved in this process. And when you do it well, you can make a great living at this. You can help a lot of people. And I see the future as more professionals, which is like, is it taxes? Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, death, real estate, and taxes.
Taxes, all right. But like, so that's the part that I'm super stoked about the future is how do we attract the people that really want to be the best at this? That's who I want to build with moving forward, because that's who's going to survive. And we've tried a lot of different training platforms. And for me, this has been the one that I think I can deliver the best on. And it's mainly because of all of you guys, right? I can stoke the fire, give you an idea to talk about, and then each one of you guys chime in, it's gold. You can't, and it's just a little bit every day, right? Like I'm at this Zillow conference, and like I'm pretty tuned in for the first half of the day, but by the time the second half of the day, it's like, oh my God, how many more sessions? And like, it's hours at a time. And this is 30 minutes, it's quick hits, it's live, it's now, it's real. I just don't think there's been any better training in the real estate space than this 30 minutes every day. And it does frustrate me that, we've got, I don't know, 190 agents at the brokerage and 40 on the call every morning. So, nudge the colleague that this is how you get better at this business is learning from other people that are in the business doing stuff. So, if you know somebody at this brokerage, at Rovi, or even not at Rovi, this isn't an open call. The more the merrier, right? The more different perspectives, the more diverse we can make this group, the better we all are. So let's grow this. I appreciate you, Jeff and Linda, for the comments. There was a lot of emojis coming up. I think a lot of people feel the way, and I know that's why you guys are given your 30 minutes every morning, right? Because it's that's the culture. When you give, you will get in return, 2 to 3 times X typically. So come to this call, give, and I think you'll get back in return. So appreciate you. We will get after it again tomorrow morning. So look forward to it. Have a great middle of the week here. And let's get after it again tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.